My name is Trevor Hume, and I'm with EDM Planning Services Ltd. And today, I'll be presenting case number 23032, which is an application by EDM requesting to rezone lands at 538 Pleasant Street in Dartmouth from the C2 General Business Zone to the I2 General Industrial Zone. And this is to enable a concrete ready-mix facility on the lands. So as I just said, the rezoning is being sought in order to enable the construction and operation of a concrete ready-mix facility in the Eastern Passage area. But for a little bit of background, concrete is a perishable product that should be mixed close to the location of its intended use and near truck routes and highways to facilitate the product delivery. And the proposed location satisfies this requirement. The site plan has been developed to ensure positive transition between the heavy industrial areas to the west and mixed-use areas to the east of the property. Before we proceed, who is OSCO Aggregates Ltd, OCAL? OCAL is the second largest ready-mix company in Atlantic Canada, operating 11 ready-mix plants across the 3 provinces. The company maintains Atlantic Concrete Association certification on all of its plants. In Nova Scotia, OCAL concrete plants operate under an industrial agreement issued by the province. These agreements define environmental, for example, stormwater, noise, dust, other things under the Environment Act, and other regulations that must be adhered to in order to remain in operation. So a little bit about concrete ready-mix. A ready-mix facility is a highly automated industrial kitchen where materials are stored, measured, and mixed for clients. Inside the building, a unique recipe is programmed into the computer based upon the concrete's intended use. The factory uses automated scales to weigh the dry ingredients, measure volumes of water and liquid additives, and then directly loads them into the concrete truck drums. Inside the truck drum, the ingredients are mixed together. Concrete additives are stored in containers, and sand and aggregates are stored in piles, following material handling protocols established through the industrial agreement. Trucks are carefully washed on the site, and stormwater and wash water is treated on the site as well. So why a ready-mix facility in this location? Well, concrete is a local building product with the most ingredients coming from within a 100-kilometer radius of HRM. Concrete is also a perishable product, as we said before, and trucks are loaded at the ready-mix facility, and the concrete continues to be mixed in the truck en route to the delivery site. Facilities must therefore be close to the location of the concrete use so the material does not harden prematurely. So a 30-minute drive is preferred. Another benefit relating to the locating ready-mix plants close to destinations and close to truck routes and highways is that there is less total drive time. This results in a corresponding reduction in greenhouse gas emissions as well as a decreased risk of collisions and traffic accidents. There's currently no local ready-mix facility in the Eastern Passage area, and we'll show that on the next slide. So this is a map of metro area, and this is the harbor. This is our proposed site at 538 Pleasant Street. And the orange dots that you can see here are some of the other ready-mix facilities that are located near our proposed site. So you can see there is no other site in this part of Metro. So neighborhood compatibility. I want to speak a little bit about this, and the first part of that is the Halifax port. Halifax Harbour is one of the most important harbours in the world. It is also an essential port of call for shipping. According to the Port of Halifax, the harbour generates $13.45 billion annually in direct economic benefit to the province of Nova Scotia and 13,600 jobs. It serves multiple cargo markets, the military, and ship repair and supply. The harbor is an important strategic and environmental and economic asset. The industrial lands adjacent to the harbor and Eastern Passage and elsewhere in HRM are essential to the ongoing economic success of the harbor. The industrial lands that ring the edge of the harbor are where all of the important economic activity takes place, and they require truck and highway and rail connections for success. Protecting these industrial lands from incompatible uses is embedded in the Halifax Harbor designation. A key protection strategy is providing transition uses that buffer the heavy industrial uses on the edge of these lands. Transition uses in this context are lower intensity, lower impact industrial and commercial uses, which is exactly what a ready-mix facility is. The proposed ready-mix facility is compatible with both the adjacent Halifax Harbor industrial lands that surround it to the west, as well as the mix of uses primarily on the east side of Pleasant Street. While 538 Pleasant Street is embedded in an area of industrial character, it also faces and transitions to an area with a variety of uses, especially on the east side of Pleasant Street. These include automotive repair, oil terminals, laundry and dry cleaners, pizza shop, elementary school, automotive sales, residential dwellings, and others. The proposed site plan for the ready-mix facility has been designed to consider these adjacencies. So this is our proposed site plan for the rezoning to support how the site might be used and organized. So if you look at the diagram to the right, it's organized around this central orange zone, and this will house the ready-mix facility equipment. And circulation of trucks will be achieved using the two truck entrances on Station Road, which are located here. There are two areas which could accommodate truck parking in light gray, so we have an area here as well as an area here. The storage and stormwater management area in blue here is located behind the main facility area, adjacent to the rail line, which is here, and the neighboring industrial property. This area will accommodate the storage of approximately 600 cubic meters of aggregates, as well as wash water and stormwater management infrastructure. The proposed site has the flexibility to accommodate a variety of configurations. This is just one proposal. And it's based on detailed design and approval requirements that we know will be coming. But again, there are a number of different configurations that you could come up with. I mean, this is one that we feel addresses a lot of the needs. So a component of our plan is a landscape buffer and screening. The proposed ready-mix facility will meet the requirements of the HRM land use bylaw regarding landscape buffers. The concept site plan shows an extended landscape buffer along Pleasant Street to screen the facility. So if we go back to the previous slide, the area in green is our landscape buffer. The existing office and storage building and employee parking lot will be refurbished. These elements also screen the ready-mix facility from the street and present a standard commercial front to Pleasant Street. Adjacent existing homes on Station Road are owned by a sister company of OCAL and are Zone C2 and were present when the site was functioning as a propane distribution center, which was its previous use. The landscape buffer will also be extended along Station Road. Areas of more intensive use, including outdoor storage, will be located in the middle and back of the property adjacent to the heavy industrial uses, and the site will be fenced. So, potential issues. During our review and preparation of the rezoning application, we have identified two potential issues that OCAL will address at the detailed design stage. Remember, this is just an application for rezoning, and there needs to be an actual design once that's approved. So the first of those is noise. The noise associated with a ready-mix facility is primarily related to trucks used to mix and transport concrete to the building location. OCAL's plant design will be state-of-the-art and incorporate noise abatement features to lessen the noise spilling from the site to neighboring properties. That's an important point. The second issue we came up with in our identification of potential issues is dust and gravel on Pleasant Street. And again, this is an issue stemming from the trucks, not the plant itself. Currently, Station Road is a gravel street, and there is a concern that dust and gravel from Station Road will be deposited on Pleasant Street. This is not something that OCAL wants to happen, and a mitigation measure will likely be part of the provincial operating approval process. But regardless, OCAL is committed to mitigating this issue through well-planned truck movements, washdown, and possibly adding a hard surface to a portion of Station Road. So, in addition to the HRM requirements, the site will require an industrial agreement. The provincial approvals focus on the environment and require ongoing testing and monitoring to maintain an approval to operate. So, just to review the jurisdiction here, HRM, the jurisdiction that HRM has is the Regional Municipal Planning Strategy, the Dartmouth Secondary Planning Strategy, and Land Use Bylaw, which is part of the process that we're going through today. Land use, noise, servicing, traffic, setbacks, etc. are governed by it. Bylaws and guidelines pertaining to stormwater, sewer, water, street, and truck access, etc. Those are all in the HRM's jurisdiction. What falls to the Nova Scotia environment in this particular circumstance is the industrial approval itself, which will have site environmental controls and protections for water, air, and noise, amongst others, and ensures consistency with the Nova Scotia Environment Act. So provincial environmental regulations, the industrial approval, unlike many of the uses allowed under the C2 zoning as of right, the construction, operation, and any future decommissioning of the proposed concrete ready-mix facility will be regulated by Nova Scotia Environment under the industrial approval process. Detailed engineering drawings and specifications for the design and ongoing operation of the facility are required as part of the application process. The industrial approval sets site-specific levels for noise, dust control, stormwater management, and controls for groundwater and surface water protection. The approval requires ongoing testing and monitoring. This layer of provincial regulation brings the benefit of additional inspection and oversight that other similar uses would not have. So it's another level of regulation that needs to be met. And so what does this mean? So a typical approval to operate, the requirements are broken into three pieces. First, there is site-specific information, and these are detailed plans and specifications covering the facility, equipment, operation, detailed plans and drawings, engineering, and other things there, very specific to what the proposal is about. And then there are general requirements that pretty much any industrial site has to meet, and these relate to things like sound levels, dust, surface water, groundwater, solid waste, any reporting that needs to be set up, contingency plans for when things don't go correctly, spills or release plans, emergency plans, reclamation, so what happens when the site is decommissioned, and any handling measures for dangerous goods and disposal. And many of those, as they apply to all industrial approvals, are pretty wide-ranging. The site requirements itself is another layer. So coming out of the site-specific info and the general requirements, environment will come up with a set of site-specific requirements that need to be met for operation. So these, in the case of a ready-mix facility, relate to truck washing and surface water settling, what happens to that water, how it's cleaned, refueling of trucks, setbacks from wetlands and water courses, and how truck repairs and refueling happens and where it happens, and what happens if something doesn't go correctly. And also, as part of that, a surface water monitoring program, various locations, and how often that's done. So that is our presentation to you. Thank you for considering this application for the rezoning of 538 Pleasant Street from commercial to industrial, C2 to I2. As we said, OCAL is a proud operator and follows in-house environmental practices in addition to Nova Scotia environment requirements and maintains certification with the Atlantic Concrete Association. We believe that the proposed rezoning will maintain reinvestment in the Woodside area and is in alignment with the Dartmouth and regional municipal planning strategies. Thank you very much for listening.